Radio.
So, okay, all right. So this is the BlueGamer Bluecast episode 56. First time in a long time, and it's this cool new technology that's come out where you can stream on this thing called Twitch that apparently is popular with like an RTS called StarCraft.
Oh, you don't say.
Or League of Legends, one of those things.
Where have I been for the past few years? Because I've never heard of this thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you play League of Legends?
I do not, because I am horrible at it, and many can attest to that. So I try to keep my distance. I don't want to be that guy who lost the game for everyone, because people they're quite elitist playing that game. I try to keep my distance, but I do have quite a few friends that do, and I hear enough of them playing it that I know enough about it that I know I don't want to play it. So that's about it.
Well, okay. Speaking of what we've been playing, I guess we can start with that. If Mike, you want to take it away? What you've been playing this week or lately?
Well, what are you picking on me? I gotta go first.
Because you're the new guy, kind of, I guess.
Oh, hey! I was around at one point in time in the past, a long time ago, back in the day.
And we did it live then, too.
Yeah, we did.
At a radio station.
That was good times.
That was a great time. And it's funny because it's a bunch of guys that were willing to go only because it was at a radio station. And then when we stopped, the radio station ended up closing down, and I was like, well, guys, let's just do it from my house. And like,
I remember
you were the only one. You're like, yeah, we could do it, but it's like I was like, we might as well Skype it.
Yeah, and then we did that once, and then it was kind of a clusterfuck.
I think was it Tiny Chat we did or something, and it just didn't turn out.
All I know is it was a mess, but hey.
But anyway, this is cool now. So yeah, if you want to, go ahead. What have you been playing this week?
This week, honestly, I've been so damn busy. I haven't really played too much, but I have been checking out I got back in the whole Final Fantasy thing. The HD release of Final Fantasy X came out, and it's okay. It's hard to get back into those type of games. I don't have the time anymore to play that stuff, but it's been kind of fun, and I'm not really sure if it was justified for this HD release, because it doesn't really look that much better, but, it's fun, and a little nostalgia, and I don't know, it was good times. But other than that, I actually picked up Broforce the other day. I playing around with that. It's all right. It's nonsensical good times is what it is. But yeah, other than that, not a lot. I've been actually holding out for Dark Souls 2, which just came out today, so haven't got a chance to boot that up just yet, but that is on my agenda for the evening.
Cool. Sean, what about you?
Binding of Isaac. Been playing that again. Yeah. Not many console games or PC games. I just got into Binding of Isaac again. I've been playing a little bit of mobile games, and then I got into Binding of Isaac.
Well, what mobile games? Is it something that's worth
telling
everyone about?
Not really. Just like some cheap. Well, they're free action RPGs.
And you don't put any money into them, right?
No.
And you showed me one that was actually pretty cool. Was it called The Gate or something?
Oh yeah, The Gate. You collect cards, and then they're actually characters on the screen. You move, and it's a strategy game.
So it's like Diablo.
Kind of.
Because you actually go and attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No collectibles like you weapons.
Looting, no looting, but there's leveling up and stuff. Okay, so for me, there's been kind of a drought, and I want to get to that later. But because of this drought, I've actually been playing a lot more old school games. My favorite, which are shmups. I've been getting into that. Like I did a video last week, but or actually this week, it was Monday. But I say there's a drought when it comes to current stuff. I've been playing Second Son, but to me it's just kind of just okay. It is in no way a bad game. It's just not compelling.
I don't think it was a great game. I mean, I played it. I went through it. I had a good time. I didn't 100% it, and I do plan on playing the Evil playthrough at some point in time. But I don't know. I think I was gonna be more or less going back to it just to justify my PS4 purchase, because there's absolutely nothing going on right now.
Well, do you have PlayStation Plus?
I do.
Okay, so. Because they've got what is that, Sean, called the Don't Starve.
Oh yeah.
That game is incredible.
Yeah, see, I missed that.
It's not up? Oh, okay.
No, see, they I don't know. I really wish they had the more expansive collection that they do for PS3 and whatnot, and they do kind of add games every month to it, and you can still grab them. They don't get taken off the instant collection like after the end of the month, like they have been doing for all the PS4 games. So
yeah, I could see them. They almost should do that for PS4 just to make it more enticing. But it's been selling so good, it almost doesn't matter. Which have you guys been hearing about that?
I mean, some of the games that get up on there. I mean, I'm so surprised. Like Outlast. Yeah. I mean, granted that did get released previously on PC and what have you, but it was the day one almost release on PS4, and it was free on Plus. It's like,
I know.
What? How does that happen?
It's pretty incredible. And it's cool seeing all these indie releases, and it's funny when people talk like, oh, all these indie releases. Well, nowadays, you know what? They're just games that are getting released. You're not gonna see many I mean, what's indie anymore, really? You're just going to see games being released, you know?
Right.
I think Epic said something today about there's only like a third the amount of AAA games, or maybe it was the opposite. He was saying, not the opposite, but he was saying like 3 times the budget, but there's like barely any AAA games actually being made now that are in production, which makes sense. I mean, there's no reason. I think costs have always gone up. If they can bring it down back to like the PS2, Xbox era, I mean,
they obviously what they need to do is start looking at these smaller indie devs, you know, the smaller developers who are turning out these games that people are going nuts for, like DayZ, things like that. And it's like clearly they didn't have billions of dollars of budget, but yet they're still selling off the shelf. So it's like
that's what's been working. That's why I think right now we're at the point where the industry has realized that. So Broforce is an example. I love that game. I played it last year, and I actually had a stream of it, and there's a video of us playing it, but. That was back when it was just totally indie. Well, Devolver Digital is now involved. They're helping get it out there. So even though they're like an independent publisher, how independent is it anymore when they're with them? I almost think indie, we don't even need to say that. Just either small titles or AAA. So we've got that. So DayZ is now with the developers of Arma.
Right.
So it's like... people are noticing it and they're picking them up. Whether it's indie, I don't know why I even say indie anymore. It's just smaller publishers, smaller developers are now just picking them up anyway. So now, when games come out, they're just games, and then we will see the AAA's trickle in. Activision understood this years ago because if you think about it and if you look, they don't release many games. It's just a Spider-Man game, a Call of Duty, a Skylanders.
They know what sells. They stick with that.
And they just stick with that because you're exactly right. It's these large companies are more about we're either going to make as much money as possible or no money at all. If it doesn't make a lot of money, even if it's enough, if it's not a lot, let's just drop it, not even make it.
And that's why I really appreciate these smaller devs, because, I mean, they're the ones taking the risks. They're the ones trying out new things and trying to make them mainstream, trying to get people on board with it. Whereas the big companies like Ubisoft, what have you, and actually I was kind of disappointed seeing a lot of the recent Watchdog videos and what have you, because, the more you look at it, the more it seems like, oh yeah, this is just another Ubisoft game. It's go collect this, go, climb some tower, unlock a certain part of the map. Like, every one of their games follow the same pattern, like every single one of them. And it's not like they're bad, they're always enjoyable, but it's just like they kind of gave up on trying to make something new and unique, and just like, we know what sells, let's half-ass it, and let's just crank out another title. So
yeah, that's what's cool about Ubisoft, though. I was reading something today, probably on NeoGAF, where someone said they are bigger than EA now, which that could be true. I don't know. But
believe it.
If you think about it, their games, even though they come out with tons of Assassin's Creeds and Watch Dogs, is almost like the same thing. They are pretty unique. I mean, they've got new IPs coming out all the time.
Right.
So that is pretty cool. But anyway, I guess to finish off what I was playing this week, I think that was pretty much it. Second Son, I got a Ouya, and the emulation on it is awesome. Like, that's what redeems this device. Although I bought it refurbished for $70, I didn't pay full price. I got it. It totally redeems it. And then so I have it hooked up to my TV on the network. I have the XBMC or XMBC, whatever that is, the media center.
Right.
And I can stream from my external hard drive that's hooked up to my Windows PC all of my movies. So
yeah, that is a neat feature. Certainly.
So I think the controller is horrible, though. The controller is
They give you alternatives? Can you use any
you can plug in
Bluetooth device or whatever?
Yeah. I plugged in my USB Sega pad, and it it works. Controls the menus, everything.
Awesome.
It's incredible. Yeah, this device. So real quick, guys, I want to, this, like I said, is the first time we've been streaming like this. I'm gonna go check the stream real quick. And it looks great. Sound is in sync. It hasn't delayed yet. Mike, sometimes your camera freezes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. I haven't had that problem until we got into
internet
this.
in your third world
Mine's
country.
doing that too.
Well, it's probably because I'm uploading some things. Oh, I should probably stop that.
Oh.
Let's see.
Or if you have the stream up too, if you just want to close it.
No, I did close that.
Okay,
That was very distracting.
Yeah, that I only have it up just so I could check on it, and I have my computer wired in anyway. Hopefully in the future, because I don't know about you guys out there listening, but lately I've been checking out podcasts that have been done on Twitch, and I always see them now. What people do is they stream it on Twitch, and then they have it as a video on YouTube, and then an MP3 to listen to. But when I watch this, and hold on, my computer just went to sleep. But when I'm watching them, I see how they have the people sectioned off, and I'm like, how did they do that? So I've been trying to figure it out all week, and what I did was I have, obviously, the webcam, that's me, and then you guys from Skype. I'm just capturing you guys from Skype. I really have no idea. I'm going to be messing around with it. But it's funny, watching it, it looks like it sometimes flickers black and white. But not often. Anyway, so that's what we've been playing this week. I suggest getting an Ouya for people that like to emulate. I'm not big on, piracy, game piracy. Even though I download movies like it's nothing.
What?
Sir.
But
I know it's so hypocritical. But I like to be able to access my old school games or games that there's no way I can get.
Right.
Arcade games like AVP from Capcom. On the big screen.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay, so did we want to go over impressions of the PS4? Do you think we covered that? Unless there's something else you wanted to. It looks like PS Now. We talked about that.
We didn't actually. We talked about Plus.
Oh yeah, PS Now. That's right. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about PS Now real quick. Now, did you guys get an invite? I know Sean, you did.
I did.
I did.
No,
not.
I got left out in the cold, unfortunately. So we'll have to
It's
see how
only
it
for the
goes.
PS3, right?
No, I think it's everything.
I think it's everything.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's for everything. PS4 and.
Well, like right now, the beta. Like.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know. But I think the real point of that is I don't know if I'm going to sign on to that or not. It's really got to do with how much are they going to charge for this. I mean, I already am kind of just disappointed with the fact that obviously backwards compatibility is still nothing it's never coming back. Clearly, they don't want to do that, and I'm not very fond of paying yet again for the games I've already purchased. But if they do some kind of deal, I mean, with the PS Plus and the free games every month and all that, if they kind of roll it into maybe part of the Plus, I don't think they're going to do part of the Plus subscription, but maybe you get a discount by having that. And if it's $10-15 a month, maybe I'd consider it. But what you have available there, if you're able, I don't know, Sean. I mean, what's the selection look like? I mean, do they have a wide variety of games? I mean, how many games are they going to be putting on there? Is it going to be select few or?
I've seen like they added a few more games. I forgot what games I had. I think they were like pretty old though.
Because that would be a kind of a determining factor. It's like if it's new games I can play that just got released, and I can just use that as sort of like a renting type service, like a GameFly, except I don't have to wait for a disc in the mail. Then that would be something I would enjoy. But I think it really depends on. I think there's a lot of details that are up in the air right now, but we'll see how that goes. But then again, I'm not going to pay $25 a month for that service. It doesn't matter how many games I can play endlessly streaming over my internet. That's way too much money. So
yeah, we'd have to see if it's something like Netflix, maybe. And then it was funny because after this announcement, lately they even started talking about how they were going to start releasing the games to download. So you don't, it's not PS Now streaming. It's like the old school games that you can just download and play them, which so you own them,
Right,
which is cool because
right,
I still kind of like that. I mean, I could see a future where all we're doing is streaming games and not really owning them, but for now we need that full technical visual fidelity of knowing that it's not being streamed. The digital pixels are being displayed. And then real quick, actually, DJ Wheat, he's one of the main dudes at Twitch, and I emailed him a few days ago. He got back with me just now saying he's using XSplit and that you need Skype Premium in order to do group video. Now, I know we have 2 here, but maybe group video he means...
more people's.
Well, I guess maybe more than 2. Oh, you know what? Well, I have 2. I think I have Skype Premium. I think everyone that got an Xbox One was able to get into Skype Premium for free. Isn't that true, Sean?
I didn't hear about that.
All right, whatever. I could be talking out my ass. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. For now, for PS Now, I have no idea what to expect. It could be awesome like PS Plus. So
I hope it is. I mean, they really have a good. They've done really well with that. Granted, as you had mentioned, the whole physicality of having something and owning it, you don't with Plus. It's like it's there as long as you pay the money. And so it's like, yeah, I have all these games downloaded, but it's like that 1 month I decided, I don't really want to pay for this. Everything's gone. So it's like, it's kind of a bummer. But
I love when your camera freezes right at the right moment.
Oh, right. Yeah. What is the deal with that? I mean, I've never seen this thing go in and out the way it is. I don't know. Then again, this thing's been in a box for I don't know how many years. It's got probably like a couple of hours of use on my actual Xbox, like that one. That was a good use right there.
Yeah, I didn't use it that much. Now that I think about it, I think I got it for Rainbow Six when they first started doing it, where you can map your face.
Right. That was the big feature. You could be in the game, man.
So moving on, I guess let's talk about games we're looking forward to. And I saw your list, which I want you to go through. It's weird for me. I don't really look forward to games much. I think the ones that are like always like a year out in development or something, or a year or 2, I'm never excited for. It's always ones that come out of nowhere and then it's like, I'll be released in 6 months, which Nintendo seems to do.
Right.
Well, tell us
a lot of these games, actually, that I mentioned, they actually had earlier dates that should be released. It was going to be within 6 months, and then, this is like the year of delays, unfortunately. But
well, let's start with Child of Light. Now, I hear people talking about this, good things about it, and I have no idea.
It's just really unique to see Ubisoft trying to do, bring in the JRPG. Well, I don't even know. I mean, I've seen, when I first saw it, they were really trying to... It was supposed to be like a JRPG. It had the whole turn-based combat and all these nifty features, and it looks beautiful. I mean, crazy art. It looks really good. But now, actually, they just released a video, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what it was for. But it really just looks like any other like side-scrolling puzzle game, and there's like no combat in there. So I'm not really sure what to think of it right now. But the fact that Ubisoft's even doing something like this is so far away from what they're used to doing. I mean, there's no... collect all this nonsense, and you got the giant open world, and it's wholly different genre for them to be. It's a new foray for them. So I was like,
oh, that's cool. And
it's pretty neat.
Again, we bring up Ubisoft again, and it was the same thing with like Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. It's like maybe they're just banking so hard, and they're not a North American based company. As far as I know, they're French. Maybe there's different,
I believe that's the case.
Different ethics, business ethics, when it comes to making a lot of money, with the company, so they still want to be able to be creative, unlike Activision.
That's good.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's why I do applaud them for that, because most people are just like, well, if that's not going to make money, screw it.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm glad they're trying something. I hope it sells well. I mean, for the price point it's at, $15, and it's downloadable. So
you said JRPG, and I lost interest, but then you're saying you're not sure.
It does have those elements, like the turn-based combat and towns and a lot of talking and all that blah blah. But it also has the puzzle, side-scrolling elements. I mean, it's really. I mean, check out. I mean, I'll have to shoot you the video here later, but it just looks lovely.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably something that I'm probably not going to rush to play as soon as it releases, but it's something probably good to kill some time down the line.
Okay, before we get to this next one, and I'm holding nail clippers. Sorry. Before we get to this next one, Did you play Titanfall?
I did not play Titanfall.
Okay. To me, before Titanfall came out, I was talking to my brother one day, and he made fun of me so much. I said, you know what, Sean? Both Titanfall and Destiny are not even going to be as big of a deal as we made them out to be. The hype is not going to be there. And Sean's like, what? Now, I think, in my opinion, for Titanfall, I was correct. Titanfall is a competent, fun, competitive online FPS. It's fun. It's okay. It's not as fun where I think the last time I played it was in March.
Wow.
And I play like 3 maps, and then I'm like, I've done everything today. Maybe later I'll feel like shooting some guys.
And that's the thing, I don't know, I thought it was kind of a bold decision to try to release a $60 game with just the multiplayer component, without any single player, because, I mean, that's what drives a lot of people in. I mean, you know, even as generic and run-of-the-mill as the Call of Duty campaigns are, a lot of people buy them solely for that. You know, they don't care about the online shoot-'em-up nonsense.
Right, that is true. I think something even came out recently, and I forget, it was a big publisher, and they said people ask for single player. They said more people are playing the single player than the multiplayer, but there was a time back in the mid-2000s where like everything needs to have multiplayer. Bioshock multiplayer.
Yeah, what was that? I bet they're still kicking themselves for that.
Yeah. So now we've got Destiny, and I'm not entirely sold on it. I mean, between Borderlands, Titanfall, I mean, we already got Halos and Call of Duty. I mean, another FPS. What can they really do here? I don't
know. It seems to be blending a lot of different mechanics that I like. You know, I like MMOs. Don't get me wrong; they are derivative and they're boring at some point in time, and it's a lot of, you know, go here, kill that, whatever. But the fact that you're, you know, adding a lot of these things like the giant open world, you know, transportation systems and public quests and all that, and bringing it into a, you know, it's a seamless multiplayer, single player experience. It just, I don't know. It seems to kind of click. Plus, my one qualm with Borderlands was that, okay, yes, you had all these classes, but, you know, there wasn't a lot of things to differentiate. I mean, yes, the skill tree did, I mean, your bullets did different effects, but you always had that one skill. That was it. And it seems like this is bringing in more of the class elements, and you have a lot of different abilities and things like that, and that, to me, is what is kind of making it interesting for me. So, I don't know if they're going to pull it off. From what I've seen so far, it looks very interesting. Now, if it's, you know, the same thing as what they've demoed, and you just, you know, go into dungeon A, B, C, D and do the exact same thing over and over, yes, my stance is going to change a little bit. But from what I've seen, I can't help but be somewhat, you know, impressed and trying to look forward to it here. But and honestly, you know, half of it's probably because the fact that there's nothing else on the horizon for PS4 that I'm like, all right, this will be one more thing I can buy to hopefully solidify my purchase.
But apparently there's a lot of things in the making for PS4. We'll see, though.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt about that.
But so you brought up something in just a second ago. You're talking about they've got these classes, but are they going to be that unique? And Borderlands was like the same thing for, you know, your class. So that's true, because when the original Team Fortress came out, I thought that was amazing. I thought this thing with the classes and a first-person shooter, like, I don't even know if that was done before that, and maybe I didn't pay attention, but I love that. So then they announced Team Fortress 2, and that took forever to come out. And finally, when it came out, even though it had different classes, I felt the class like you just did this the whole time. And then so every match was just like the paper, rock, scissors. I don't know how much you like TF2, but
I loved it back in the day. However, I whenever the hats started coming in, you know, I was way out of it by then, so, you know, I missed out on a lot of the fun, I guess, and all the cool new weapons and all that stuff. So,
well, yeah. So TF2 started feeling like Borderlands to me, and so I was like, you know, it's kind of boring. So yeah, if Destiny can really differentiate the classes and the objectives and how unique your character is and the skills you acquire, I mean, that could make it its own, you know, adventure, because it's basically a single player game that is multiplayer, which is like a campaign. You know, they said that about Titanfall, and the Titanfall single player is a joke.
You know what that really reminded me of is Brink. And you know how well that game did, right?
It's funny, that had some great ideas.
It did. It was wonderful.
They didn't pull it off. No,
they didn't. And I think probably because it didn't have giant robots.
I don't know what
that shoot missiles. I don't know.
Because Sean, we played that.
Yeah.
And there was something about it that kept it from...
It did feel like kind of clunky.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could have been that. Okay, so...
And performance wasn't there. There was a lot of problems with that game, but it's a shame.
Now, here's one that I'm not interested in at all unless it has real-time combat. Dragon Age Inquisition.
Well, that game looks good.
See,
I didn't even play the other games.
Well, if you haven't played any of them, I would certainly suggest going and playing Origins, because that's really the only one worth playing. 2 is pretty, well, it's pretty shit. They kind of half-assed the whole thing, a lot of recycled environments, the story was okay. But, from you saying real-time combat, it's not going to happen. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's what got me into these games in the first place, that it was kind of just a new version of, some of those old school RPGs like Baldur's Gate and things like that, where, it really has a lot of the strategic elements and, class battles, and you get to choose what you're doing. I mean, there's just so many options and different ways to play, and that's what interests me. Plus, I mean, this new engine, well, it's the Frostbite 3 engine, I believe, is what they're using.
Yeah,
and it looks amazing. So they've really done a lot with that. I think they learned their lesson from Dragon Age 2, and hopefully we'll be making this something you can't miss. And I'd hope you'd at least just give it a try. I mean, there are it wasn't completely real time, so to speak, but I know the console versions didn't have that nice top-down strategic view. It was more you're kind of in the heat of the battle. You got to move your character around as you will and activate skills and what have you, but it wasn't you weren't hacking and slashing. But
yeah, see, I need that. So let's go to this next one, because it's like that. Witcher 3. So Witcher 2, it's weird, man. I'd never beat Witcher 2. I don't even think I got that far into it, but I loved it. It's just that I forget what would happen. I would get so far, and then it doesn't have cloud saving, or you have to do it I forget what happened. Anyway, I would always get so far, and I loved the combat. It was kind of hard, though. You, really had to get that down, so I was always taking a long time, and then by that time, I'd have to reformat my computer, or I started playing something else, and then I could never get back to it. But Witcher 3, I think, is one I'm preparing myself for, to when it comes out, I will get it. And as long as it's got the same combat system...
hopefully more refined.
Yeah, even more
sure
refined. I just like that combat system. I love the dodging and attacking and blocking.
And I'm so glad they changed in the Witcher 1 combat, because oh my god.
Yeah, I never played Witcher 1 because I heard the combat was just... It's like an MMO or turn-based, right? You just kind of stand there.
Right, it kind of reminded me a lot of a Diablo or something like that. Not in the fact that you're just well, I mean, it was just basically, it wasn't top-down like that, but the entire combat system basically consisted of you hitting the left mouse button, and then you had to time your attacks for each one. So you're just hitting the left mouse button endlessly. Really? That's it? Okay. So
then, to me, and a lot of developers, when they're making a game, it's not like someone's oh, I can't wait to make game A. And then it's okay, well then what kind of combat system do we want? Because it's so different to have a turn-based or a combat system based on time and numbers rather than real-time skill-based. So I almost feel like a developer's more okay, we do turn-based combat games. I can't wait to make game A.
Right.
I think it's interesting to see a developer like these guys, CD Projekt, go from Witcher 1 to Witcher 2 combat. They
right, it was a crazy jump, and yeah, you're right, they nailed it. A lot of people can make some stumbles along the way, but no, they got it right. And Witcher 3 has floored everyone that's seen it. I mean, I've seen quite a few of the videos, and it just looks astounding. So, I mean, and really, I'm just so happy that they spent the time and effort to get that engine of theirs so heavily, optimized to run as well as it did on those last-gen consoles. Because, I mean, I never actually played it there. I've seen quite a few videos of it running.
Yeah.
And it's just wow, they did a damn good job. And the fact they could bring that game that was, for the most part, always has been a PC-centric experience to the masses, man, shit, they're lining their pockets with lots of money right now, because, I mean, a lot of people jumped on that, and I don't know. I can't wait. Unfortunately, it got delayed, so we'll be waiting a good while, but that gives me plenty of time to check out Dragon Age Inquisition. And for you as well, since you won't have Witcher 3 to distract you.
Oh, there'll be something that gets announced at E3 that comes out. But okay, so Evolve, which
have you seen much of that?
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept. it's also something that may get old really quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is one I would probably rent. Okay, so the Left 4 Dead devs, like, to be honest, when Left 4 Dead was announced, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then I played it, and to me, Left 4 Dead is so boring. It's just, you just run in, a bunch of zombies, shoot. Unless I'm wrong.
Well, you're not wrong.
Discover.
I mean, it is that's pretty much what it is, but just the fact that, I mean, I really found it boring as hell playing on consoles and things like that. What really opened the doors for me was getting in on PC, actually getting my own server running, employing all these crazy mods and what have you, and there's just so much stuff you can do to tweak the game to fit your playstyle. Like, I always thought it was a bit too lax. I kind of just like ran through and killed things at my leisure. I was never really, worried about, there was nothing there to really, kill you. You had to, but you could have, had these mods where you had, infected jumping at you every 5 seconds. Every round, every corner, it was nuts. It was just chaos, and getting to 4 people in that and playing was a great times. I'm not sure, because one of the things I didn't like a lot about Left 4 Dead, or is basically just because I sucked at it, was the multiplayer aspect. And it seems with Evolve, they've kind of gone away from the whole single player side of it, and it's like solely a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And I figured that's where things, because I don't know if there's going to be enough differentiation between, is there going to be multiple monster type creatures? If it's just that same creature in the same 4 classes every time, I can't see playing more than 10 games that and wanting to go again.
Or it's going to be a budget release,
right.
Or they're going to just have so much like microtransactions to go along with it.
I hope not.
Well, okay, here's a game that's similar that I just beat. 2 games I just beat recently. So the Nazi Zombie Army 1 and 2. Did you ever play those?
No, I did not play that.
Incredible.
Did I miss out?
Dude,
incredible, huh?
They've been like, there's been a bunch of sales where they were only like a few bucks each, but Nazi Zombie Army is from top down awesome, awesome graphics. Now they're not like amazing like next gen graphics, but just the textures and models are good where they will never be bad, if that makes sense. Like, they're just good enough to where they'll never, I don't know how to explain that, but
So what is the game really all about? Because all I see is like the sniping action.
Yeah, so it's a third-person shooter, although it plays like a first-person. And your sniper is your main weapon, but then you have a sidearm, which is like your machine gun, and then you have your pistol. You choose what ones you want, and as you go. But zombies come out, and they're crazy. You can set it up. There's difficulty, and then there's how many zombies, depending on... Because it's 4-player co-op. You could play 1 player, but with 4-player co-op number of zombies. Okay, so what's cool about these zombies is they don't run at you. There are some variants that do, but these are awesome, like, slow-moving, moaning zombies. Headshots kill them immediately. It's not like Call of Duty Nazi zombies where you just shoot them until they die. Headshots, so if you're good and you're getting headshots, they're dead. So... Like, the mood, the graphics are awesome. You see draw distance is incredible. You see all this fog in the distance and the lighting. It plays awesome 80s synthesizer music as zombies are coming out of the fog. And so, yeah, you're having to do, headshots to take care of them. You get other weapons. You get mines, grenades. Sometimes you got to set them up. You'll hear screaming in the distance, and then you get these kamikaze zombies with dynamite on them. But, yeah, it's interesting because it's a 4-player co-op game. But I played the whole thing except for the last level by myself. The last level of the second game. So, the bosses are awesome. The levels, it's a full single-player experience that you can have by yourself. Every level looks different. Everything is different. It's scary as hell. The last boss was so insane, and I had to have 3 other people to do it. Like, leading up to it, it was just getting hard. I was playing online, and... It's cool because you jump in a game online, there's always people. And so I'm at this part where we're having to defend ourselves in a certain area, and everyone dies but me. Like, you can go and revive, but there came to a point to where I couldn't, they were just overrun. So I was the only guy left, and so then I'm by myself and I'm traveling across the field to get to the next area, where luckily it says so-and-so joined the game, and then you see the guys come out of nowhere. So I got some new guys, and we stormed this area. You gotta play it. I will.
Sounds like a good time.
I will play it with you. If you get it, I will do the whole thing co-op with you. It's very demonic. The story's awesome, and you figure out the story by when you come across radios. I guess it takes place during World War II, obviously Nazi zombies. But you come across little CB radios, and some guys are talking about what's going on.
This game just seems so crazy though, because I remember the Sniper Elite games, which were like not like this at all. You know, it's like
I'm surprised this game doesn't get as much talk as it does, because there's just so. What I was trying to get at was, where Left 4 Dead, you just run around and you like shoot everything. This one, you run around and shoot everything, but you're fearing for your life, and the demonic imagery kind of helps scare you, and the lighting, like how you'll walk down a hallway and then all of a sudden you'll see like this tall shadow of all these zombies, and they did that on purpose, like, and you're like, what the hell? So you turn the corner and then you just see all these zombies, like they set every point up like that, where it's like scary. You come across like pentagrams painted on the floor in blood, with people and their organs all spilled out, like, and
what a crazy imagery, huh?
Yeah, you piece the story together as you go. Like, the game is never telling you the story. There's never like dialogue with the characters talking.
Whereas, in Left 4 Dead there wasn't really a story. It was just get to point A to point B, and then that's it.
So that's what's cool about this, is it adds the story. There's other little things it does. There's a melee button. Setting traps. There's hidden things throughout the levels to find. And anyway, I went too far on this game. It's awesome. There is a review on BlueGamer.net for it.
For the price point, I think it's couldn't be a bad.
Apparently, it is coming out on PS4.
Really?
It's 1 and 2 together with a whole bunch more content, and that was actually independent released. Rebellion, who did Alien vs Predator, the original Alien vs Predator game, and they did the one in 2010 that was okay. They did and the sniper games, obviously.
Okay.
All right, so we're done. I went forever on that. Okay, Wasteland 2 doesn't interest me, so if you want to take it away, Wasteland.
Once again, you just don't like these strategic,
I like
RPG type game.
I like RTS.
Yeah, see, and then I play those, and I make an ass myself because I'm so miserable at them.
Luckily, you guys are getting RPGs because they don't make RTSs anymore, pretty much. They don't.
No, not really. No. However, I am looking forward to Homeland 3 or Homeworld 3 whenever they get around to that.
Yeah.
That was a fun one back in the day. But Wasteland 2, it's just it's just that there's so many of those games, like Wasteland 2, Project Eternity. They all got kickstarted around the same time, and I'm all like really excited about all of them, just because it's just one of those games where it's so different from the RPGs as of late. It's not the morality system. Are you good or are you bad? And how evil are you? You have horns in your head? Yeah, shit. No, okay, no. But it's like, it just seems like there's a lot more to it. I'm really glad that those developers come back and just to see the response, the Kickstarter, and how much money they've got. I mean, it's just like clearly there's a lot of people who are on board with this. And while I haven't got a chance to, I'm not in the alpha. I did not procure it just yet. I kind of wanted to see how things panned out.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Kickstarter. I mean, I like Kickstarter. It's a great system, but there's always some of those devs that, things never actually get released as they should.
Yeah, you really have to.
They should.
They have to have enough stuff out for it to seem worthy, like Mercenary Kings, Volgar, and then a shmup trilogy. The trilogy was pretty much already done. They were just like porting it to PC, seeing the interest level. And then Volgar, they already had a lot done. And then Mercenary Kings, the Scott Pilgrim guys, that game was great, and they already had some done. But yeah, a lot of times you look at a Kickstarter, like they were going to do the James Pond. I don't know if you guys remember the James Pond games. They were going to do a third one, but they didn't have anything made yet. So it didn't even though everyone wants another one, it's just there wasn't enough interest because they didn't have anything to show anyone if there was a game.
Yeah, see, I just can't put my money down before I see something. But with Wasteland, I probably should have, because knowing the devs behind that, there's really no way they're going to kick out something that's shit, and especially when this is their first opportunity to come back and make a sequel that they probably should have made forever ago, but finally glad they're getting around to it, and hopefully it's going to be quite amazing. I don't really know. I've seen quite a bit of it. It looks a bit rough right now still, but the idea and the scope of what they want to do is it really intrigues me. So I'm hoping it turns out good. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic for all of these games, but if anything, it'll just be a nice foray into the old school RPGs of days of old.
Yeah, and even though I don't play them, I think it's cool that these are coming out. I mean, the gaming industry is finding out that it is possible to go back to what seem like niche titles. You don't have to make maximum profit just to have a game made. So,
exactly.
So, anyway, hey, do you guys know how long you've been going so far?
I haven't really been looking at the time.
Okay, do we want to cover anything else, or save some of this other stuff for next time?
Yeah, we could probably save some for next time. I really don't care. It's up to y'all. It's
getting
up to y'all.
late for me. It's my bedtime. Nah, it's time to play video games. I can only do this for so long.
Right. You gotta make time to play, and that's what's wrong with me. I haven't done that. Maybe I should carve out some time tonight, because I do have some Dark Souls 2 to play. So.
Oh, you're gonna do that tonight?
I'm gonna kick it around, see how much different it looks on PC.
Well, let me know if you want to do some Broforce, because we can stream it.
Ah, yes, that would be good.
I mean, if you bought it,
I was playing on the prototype actually, so I didn't.
It has it. I mean, it's full. Even the version I played last year, it has so much.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely need to do that here soon.
Well, yes. So that's it for episode 56 of the Bluecast. This went well, I think, but I think there will be some improvements for next time. Like, you're gonna get an HD camera.
Yeah, of course.
So, unless you guys want to say anything else, that's it.
No.
I'm going to press stop broadcast. See you guys later.